Huge welcome to the Lowry and to our GM Moving conference. This really is about participation and active lives for all. I hope you all have a brilliant day. I can feel the energy already. So thank you to everybody. I am Eve. You see me up there. For anyone who can't see me, I'm a white woman, about 5'5". I like to think I'm a little bit taller. I have my Active Soles on, my Moss Siders, my favourite trainers. I'm slightly red and sweaty right now, but I do have a big smile on my face. And I'm here with Aisha too, who's my co-host for the day.
Hi, everybody. Oh, you are ever so sweet. Do it again. Hi, everybody. There you go. Marvelous stuff. So my name is Aisha and I'm co-hosting today. I am an Enterprise and Learning Manager from Flourish CIC, and I'm also the founding director of Idarai CIC. You can find both of them on the internet if you want to find out more. And for anyone who can't see me, I'm a lovely chocolate-skinned woman. I am a little bit dewy. I usually don't wear makeup. This is a bad day to do it. But I'm happy. I'm loving seeing all the faces here today, and we're going to have a good time. It's a long day, but it's a fun day. So I'm looking forward to chatting to plenty of you today, too. So, now, we're kicking off the main show, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Tom Stannard, the CEO of Salford City Council and the chair of the GM Moving Partnership Board. Thank you very much.
Well, hello, good morning everybody. I can't see any of you actually because the light's so bright. It's a great pleasure to be finally standing on this great stage, having seen some brilliant acts here before in the past. Anyone who can't see me, I am a white bloke. I'm wearing a pair of glasses that are slightly misty at the moment. I'm wearing a suit, unfortunately, because of commitments I've got later on in the day. But I would much rather be wearing an Iron Maiden t-shirt, but I couldn't give you the pleasure of that this morning. And I think what a great diversity of performances we've seen this morning. It is very much a case of each to their own. I couldn't possibly begin to replicate the breakdancing for you. I would much rather, in terms of my own preferences for movement, be seen in some combination of either fell running, heavy metal, or playing the drumming. And all of that gives me a degree of energy that I can't replicate elsewhere, really. But it's lovely to see you all here this morning. The main thing I wanted to say in a quick introduction was welcome, obviously, to the great city of Salford. We're very pleased to be hosting the GM Moving conference here today. Even more pleased because it's not in Manchester at the Etihad for any of you football fans out there. But it was an enormous do last year, and by the looks of it already, it's going to be even bigger and better this year. And we're particularly pleased to be hosting it in Salford because movement and the equality of active lives for all is such an enormous part of our strategy as a city, whether that's from everything we're doing in our work around infrastructure across the city for walking and cycling, all the way through to all of our community activity with sports clubs and grassroots organisations across the city, rugby league, which is an enormous part of our history, heritage and culture in Salford. And for any of you who are in the Keys, round about June last year, you'll also have seen movement and physical activity being a huge part of what we put on as the We Invented the Weekend free festival of family fun for people across the city. And that's back, by the way, this June. As a quick plug for you, mid-June, so do come down for that as well. But those things are hugely important to us to drive that participation and that equality of participation for all. And why is that important to us? Simply because economic inequality across the city of Salford and across Greater Manchester is a big determinant of inequality in people's ability to lead active lives. And our work to try and tackle that and break down those barriers, whatever your preference, whether it's Laurel Hill, whether it's breakdancing, whether it's Iron Maiden, whether it's playing the drums, whether it's running up hills, or whether it's simply walking down the street holding hands with people you love. Active Lives for All is what uniting the movement in GM Moving is all about, and it's a massive pleasure for me to have been part of helping Eve and Hayley to lead our partnership board across GM to try and really push that movement across the whole of Greater Manchester. So I hope you have an enormous, fulfilling, mind-expanding and very active and hopefully not too wet day in the city of Salford today. Get involved, participate, chat to us all. most importantly, get moving and enjoy yourselves. Thanks for listening.
So, breathe. We want to start by reflecting back over the last year and think about last year's conference. So think back, those of you that were there, go on, I can just about see some arms. Who came to the Etihad last year? Oh, look at how we've grown. Just imagine if you all brought a friend or a colleague or a neighbour next year, quite what this will look like. So we ended last year's conference with the words of Ella. So Ella was a performance poet who sat and listened for the whole day as one of our active listeners. And then she performed at the end this amazing poem. So just to tune you in to where we ended a year ago, these are Ella's words, but ultimately they're your words.
And so, I invite you to be as gracious as possible as you can with your attention. This is a movement. This is a movement for the seldom heard voices, of letting go with the preconceived notions of what they're like and what they should do, how it should work and what we think is true. How many of us walk into a room without considering the stories of movement passing through, patterns imbuing, memories brewing? These stories are the foundations of a city region vibrant and true. This is a movement for young people who are experts in their own experience, who refuse to watch their stories simply pass from hand to hand, who know that their ideas have weight and to grow and to expand. This is a movement for communities who face the sharpest blades of oppression. Everybody has a body and a right to move, the barriers to hurdle and the points to prove. Are what keep folks isolated, separate from the whole. It's deep listening and action that can feed the active souls. This is a movement for the man who can only talk as they walk, side by side, not catching eyes through the wild peaks or their sullen streets, bringing lightness to each other's lives each time they meet. Human bodies move with meaning, so even those who hide under stoic brows find that there is love and connection and deep meaning to be found in a windswept walk under summer sun or wide grey skies. It's the momentum in these movements that allow us to rise.
This is a movement for the movers and the shakers. We already know the simple joy that the body is a gift. You felt your blood rush like a river as it turns and rolls and shifts. It is in your willingness and courage as you embrace communities. It is in the knowing that in failure, we learn, we move, we seek. This is a movement for a city region where to move is not yet free. The work of giving people what they need is bold in its simplicity. It is justice, imagination, and it feeds our active souls. It breathes life into people who have movement at their core. So the way we work and meet and move and wheel and ride and run and play can be embedded in the foundations of our simple everyday. Let that sink in. So I'm delighted we've got Maya Chowdhury here today, who is also a performance poet and is also an active listener for the day. And she's got some big boots to fill, no pressure, but I know she's brilliant. So she will also be sharing back to us our words over the course of today at the end of today. We also have Paolo, who is a visual artist who is capturing today's conversation in visuals to share back at the end of the day, and a whole host of active listeners. So do join us for our final panel as we capture some of the key essence of what we've heard.
And now we're going to hear some stories of how people are contributing towards the vision, starting with Jill, Jordan, and Anthony from Be Strong. Please welcome them.
a lovely sofa. Let's check. Oh, look, and we have sounds. Tex with us.
Hi everybody, my name's Jill Lee and I'm the key worker on the Be Strong project. We're a community rehab based in Bolton and we support adult vulnerable men with histories of substance abuse, offending and homelessness. I've been with Be Strong for 10 years now and seen some amazing men with incredible stories, from initially seeing such broken men isolated with often nobody around them to transforming lives. These two beautiful gentlemen here with me are Anthony and Jordan, who have been here for 18 months. So we're just going to hear a little bit of their stories and their journey at Be Strong. So Jordan, I'm just going to ask you first, when I got this microphone, just where we met 18 months ago and where you were in that journey.
Well, 18 months ago, I was lost, I was depressed, I suffered with bad cocaine issues, and I was in a dark, dark place, and my life was lost, I was hopeless, you know what I mean? And I found my way to Be Strong through charities and good people, you know what I mean? I wasn't the best person myself, but I got myself to Be Strong, and I found the people that I live with now. And I found a passion for the gym, I found a passion for caring for other people. It's weird, I'd never felt this feelings before in my life. I had a different kind of upbringing from most, you know what I mean? But I found a passion in working with people in the gym, pushing each other. I found a passion in training with each other. It was just, 18 months, my life's changed so much. I would have never have thought myself to be on a stage speaking to people, and I'm grateful for that.
Can I just say too that I see the lads, I do the referrals on the project, so I see these guys doing video calls prior to them coming, and Jordan had been so isolated. He'd just, by the way, lost 5 stone in weight, which is absolutely fantastic. And talking of Salford and the Lowry, Jordan did the bike race from Manchester to Blackpool last year from here. So what a fantastic achievement. Part of our project is healthy body, healthy mind, as well as recovery from addiction. So the lads go to the gym every morning, and we also do boxing sessions. They go to boxing also at night as a group, as a family, the Be Strong family. So exercise is absolutely vital in our role. So I'm just going to ask Anthony that as well. So let's hear from Anthony in your story.
Hi, my name's Anthony. I'm 44-year-old male from Stoke. I've got a similar past to Jordan, obviously a lot longer past, but I've grew up in addiction from a very young age, alcohol, drugs, and crime. And last year, I was in a desperate place, and I reached out through probation and things like that to Be Strong, and they accepted me on the program. I came here over 12 months ago now, and it's just been such a turnaround in my life. I'd say, before I came here, I was working as a builder, and I used to drive around in the truck, and I would look at people going for a jog, and I'd be like, I will do that if you paid me. I'm never going to be one of them. But here I am now. I'm going to the gym every day. I'm doing boxing. I love to run. I love to go to the gym. I love to do boxing. I'm taking part in the Manchester Blackpool race this year. Quite a few of us are from Be Strong, and it's just great to be here. It's great to see everybody here today.
So these guys now, obviously after a while, we look at the move on stage and where the lads are, and to find them in the best place, because what we don't want to do after spending so much time here is then to not have support around them and to be in the best place. Some of the lads, like Jordan from Scotland, are going to be relocating down here in the northwest and moving on with their goals. So just Jordan, just say about your goals for the future.
I've already started pursuing my goals. I went to apply for a college programme to an apprenticeship coach. It was a coach and activator. It's because when I've been in the gym, I've been training the boys that come in when they're just starting in the rehab, and I can see the best in them before it's even started. So I want to push them as far as I can, so I pursued in that, and I went to go for like a coaching, kind of boxing coaching role, and I've found myself a boxing gym to start in, and it's just, it's amazing. I'm going to pursue, get down the boxing coaching path and see how far it takes me, and that's it.
And Anthony, where do you see you now? Like I said, you've got some plans, haven't you, for the future?
Yeah, I've got some great plans for the future. I'm going to stay in Bolton and stay with Be Strong, and hopefully do some work with Be Strong with all the lads, and keep moving them forward, keep getting them into the gym, get them healthy body, healthy mind, clean living. And Jordan's very humble. He's absolutely brilliant in the gym with all the lads and the new lads that come onto the project. He welcomed me and brought me out of my shell. I used to be very, I suffer anxiety and stuff, and Jordan's one of the first people I met in there, and he's dear to my heart. And yeah, we all go for it.
He is a very, very, very humble guy. But one of the things about Be Strong is that we are a family. So people come, we support people from all over England. We do end up we'll work a lot with Scottish charities up in Glasgow, where the drugs is absolutely rife, particularly heroin and street diazepam. So we support all the guys. Some of the guys have been on drugs, particularly heroin, for 20 years plus, and it's so wonderful to be part of their journey, to see their life transformed and to come off the scrapes, off methadone scrapes, and to start to live. And at the moment we've got 13 men on. We own a small charity, but we support men from any age, 18 plus, and we've got, I think Paul's in his mid-50s, isn't he? So men from all over. And you know, being part of this, being part of exercise and healthy eating, we really encourage the lads with diet and exercise, which is something that is big with you about eating healthily, but to transform their lives. So a lot of these lads have had absolutely severe mental health as well, as you know, it's so closely knit with addiction, and just to see these lives transforming, particularly Jordan's, who has really made massive progress from where we saw him right at the beginning, and it is just an absolute blessing to be part of their journey, and I thank you for your time.
Oh. We know each of you have got stories. This room is full of stories. So I'd really invite you today to make sure that you speak to people and find out about what's their story of the power of moving. And we know that it's when we connect. It's when we connect as people with community groups, with sports groups, with active travel planners, with education. And when all of you come together, that the magic happens. So one more example we've got of some magic from the last week, one of these many, of the last year, which hopefully Tech's now with us. No. Can you guys back there play? Maybe? Da, da.
Forgetting about everything for just a moment. All the women here are refugees or asylum seekers from countries like Afghanistan, Iran or Botswana. Many have lost family members, all have escaped dangerous situations. But playing sport has done something incredible.
When we're at the hotel, we get so suffocated. So when we come here, we are not so much depressed, and it's good for our mental health.
And was there a time when you couldn't play sport?
Yeah, at some time I couldn't play sports because my situation. When I came here, I get a chance to come in and play sports and play something that I love.
Some of the women come from countries where they weren't allowed to play sport or just couldn't. So for Christina, this is a new experience.
It's my first time in UK. I came to play netball because I meet some people for different country, different culture. You know, you talk, you chat. Yeah, make me happy for my mind to be busy.
What you can't do is throw the ball at them. Okay, so no throwing the ball, you've got to take it and hold it. As you've seen, sort of, it's almost like the light bulb moment when a goal goes in and the enjoyment on their faces is just, it's something really that you can't necessarily teach. It almost comes from within. So that is why we do it. Go be free, forget about sort of the troubles of life, come play netball and enjoy yourself while you're doing it. Okay, so when you are shooting and you're lining it up,
England Netball are working with the charity Manchester City of Sanctuary to make the sport accessible to everyone and to help integrate these women into the community.
Some women, it's like they don't exist in their countries, and I think they're just amazed that they can do things. I've had feedback from people saying, I can just be me, I can just be me. You can't imagine what they've been through. Lots of them have been professional women, they've had really good jobs, they've had houses, cars, their own businesses, and they've had to leave it all behind.
On International Women's Day, it's a reminder women still face barriers around the world, but also that sport can help bring them together to build community, camaraderie and joy. Jane Dougal, BBC News, Manchester.
Freedom, friendship, fun, community. I mean, these are the right things, the best things in life, right? And we know, spoiler alert, we know that none of this is possible without all of you. So a massive thank you to, we've got Liz and many others from City of Sanctuary in the audience and who were dancing with us earlier. So a big thank you to all of them. And we've got Abby and Danielle and Kelly, all from England Netball, who have been working really hard to make sure that they widen access and participation. So we're doing all of that. We also know that we can't achieve our ambition, our mission of active lives for all, unless we make our streets and our public spaces also feel like places that are safe, that are accessible, they're inclusive, welcoming and joyful places that we're invited to be active. So we've seen lots of work happening across Greater Manchester and across the country by lots of you who I know in this room to try and make this happen. And now we can play.
Before we had a school street, it was quite busy and we could barely ever cross the road.
A few weeks before, a car pulled up in front of my leg and I almost got run over.
Since the school street, it's completely different. It just feels so calm. There's no noise of traffic. What's replacing the noise of traffic is birds, and I can hear children. They can see their friends from across the road, wave, and they can communicate. So it just really feels like it's a lot calmer, happier experience.
My 2-year-old is now cycling with us. It's good practice to get the kids into. It's better for the environment. We just need to feel safe. Everyone needs to feel safe doing it. And I think School Street has massively contributed to it here.
I walk along the road feeling happy because there's no cars coming.
I think School Street should be more common since it helps children cross. And if you're like alone crossing, then you might feel unsafe, but with School Streets you'll feel a whole lot safer.
Every school should have a street because it would be more calm and quiet, not that much pollution.
there's a lot of cars flying past and it just feels kind of dangerous. One car might stop, but the other on the other side of the road might not, and it's really confusing.
We got the air quality monitor, and it told us how much air pollution there was, and it was dangerously high.
It can cause lots of diseases in our lungs, like lung cancer.
When there's a lot of cars and a lot of children sitting in cars, it affects their health in a lot of different ways, and it affects adult health as well. So physically, there's a lot of respiratory disease, it exacerbates allergies, and the respiratory diseases like asthma can even kill children and even adults. It also affects blood pressure and heart disease, so those are bad effects. The things that people don't always realise is that pollution affects children's development. If there's a lot of pollution from cars in particular, it slows their learning and slows their development, and it can contribute to the development of dementia in older people, all of which are things that most people would wish to avoid.
I've really got to know like loads of people in the community that I didn't think I'd get to know, and in the process we've managed to really make an impact.
We have had people who are quite stroppy. Some of the language, especially in front of some of the children, is not great. But I think as the trial has gone on, those incidents have lessened. I think more people are getting used to it and are expect it now, as opposed to when we first started and there was a lot of confusion.
The 6-month trial is coming to an end, and I think the council should be doing everything they can to make it a reality, to be sustainable and remain for the future. I think I'd also say on that, the success that we've had here, I'd like to see that rolled out further, and I think we should have more schools that are accessing school streets, so the more that can be done, the better.
Councils need to invest into it, not just here in this area, but you know, there's Rochdale, there's Tameside, you know, Trafford, all the other boroughs. It's a must, not something that just happens, it's a need.
We do really want to celebrate the effort of all the volunteers. They've been absolutely amazing. Like, they've put so many hours in over so many days, and they just keep coming back over and over again. But we also recognise that it's not fair and it's not feasible if we have to rely on volunteers to be able to have a school street. So we'd like to put that call out to the council, to GMCA, to put more resources into school streets so that we can have more school streets made permanent, not dependent on just having volunteers to be able to do that.
This stuff matters, right? But change is hard. Change is hard. You may have seen that there's a big bus outside, an orange bus, might have taken some of you back a few years. Well, you may have noticed that Dame Sarah Story, who's our Commissioner for Active Travel in Greater Manchester, can't be with us today because she's as part of the launch of the next tranche of buses as part of the B network. And that's really important because actually we know that we need good public transport too if we're going to access all the things in life that enable us to move. So this is our message. She's there with the buses saying this matters to us. This matters to us being able to walk, cycle, wheel every day and move every day. And we know that public transport matters to us too. So I'm going to hand over to Aishatu.
Are we doing this microphone?
Yeah. Oh, you can choose. Sorry. I like to move.
So, I think, as we have got some people who would love to be here but can't be here, such as our wonderful Mayor Andy Burnham, we thought, since they're sending their love to us and we have their blessing, pardon? We're not gonna do it. I really wanted to do the video. Oh, boo! I had something fun, and Eve's not gonna let me do it now. Just know that. Unbelievable. But still, I still have something lovely to do. Are we doing this? Yes, thank you. I now have the pleasure of inviting Hayley Lever, CEO and Exec Lead for GM Moving, to the stage to share her reflections on what we've seen, heard and learnt over the last year, the key shifts, the trends and the patterns. And not to be undersold, Hayley Lever.
you. I don't know quite how I'm going to make up for the not Andy Burnham show. Oh, wow. So I'm Hayley, for those who can't see me. I'm a white woman with short hair. I have wrinkles and laughter lines for the last 7 years working in Greater Manchester on GM Moving, and it's a real joy to be here today. You know, in the 30 years of my career so far, I've never been so proud and hopeful and optimistic about the work that we're doing here and that we've been doing together in Greater Manchester this last year, these last 7 years and before. Movement matters to all of us. It matters to you, your family, your colleagues, and your community. And yet, it was being designed out of life. So together, we all are creating the conditions and designing it back in, as you've seen already this morning, for everyone. Changing culture, changing policy, changing the environment, working with all sectors, all organisations, and right across our social worlds. We are growing a movement together, and each of you in this room is playing your part. We're taking an innovative approach because past approaches were having limited impact at scale. I and we are testing and learning and failing and learning and adapting as we work to address inactivity and inequalities, because we better understand now the strong relationship between them. We are influencing nationally and locally to shift economic and social drivers of inactivity, like poverty, racism, ableism, misogyny, ageism, homophobia, transphobia, and class discrimination. We're working towards a world where justice for people and planet is top of our hierarchy of values. We are using our collective influence and voice for change, making moving everyone's business, unlocking and aligning resource and capacity towards our shared mission, active lives for all. We're growing strategic leadership that supports the collective leadership of everyone here and beyond this room. We're growing community strength and power. We're working across sectors because we all have a role to play, including you, our community leaders, you coaches, you planners, you architects, you doctors and policymakers, you supporters and inspirers. We have believers and agents of change for this mission everywhere. And we're transforming our ways of working and leading with courage to influence everything that gets in the way of our people, our communities, realising our potential. And change is possible. Despite some fierce headwinds, Greater Manchester was reducing inactivity at nearly 3 times the rate of change nationally before the pandemic. And we have recovered twice as quickly as the national rate. This work has been a priority here since 2015 and will continue to be. We have a long way to go, and we are going there together. International and national and local evidence shows that this more systemic approach is necessary and it's possible. Our biggest opportunity lies in the power we have in this room to change culture, challenge and shift dominant worldviews that drive beliefs and assumptions, that drive policy and decisions and investment, that drive behaviours at scale. I see and feel and hear the evidence of change every day. You will see and feel and hear it too. Just notice it. You'll experience it today in everything you see. Because right here, right now, at this conference, we are changing ideas about what this is and how we do it, and even what we wear and how much we move in the process. This is a conference that moves and makes change happen. It takes a different kind of leadership practice. It's human, it's about our relationships. It's about flattening hierarchies and bringing people together with different perspectives. We're changing the rules and changing the culture and practice of work right here to make greater change possible. And it is powerful and impactful. So you and your relationships are the beating heart of this movement. They're the greatest catalyst for influence and change. So today, build more relationships, more and more diverse relationships that grow belief and action as you play your part and grow this movement with us. You are all GM Moving, movers and shakers. It's who you are and it's what you do. And the ripple effect of this conference goes far beyond today and these rooms, People here from across Greater Manchester, from Wales and London and Devon and beyond are all unlocking the potential to unite the movement nationally and globally too. I am so proud of the change that you're making through this work, and I'm more hopeful than ever about how much further and how much deeper we can go. I am especially proud of my team and all those who have connected to us and created and designed and delivered this conference with such ease and skill. And I'm grateful particularly to Eve. Eve, come here. The glue, who has held it all together and is going to guide us through the rest of today. Well done. So, in a minute, and happy birthday, Andrew. If anyone is in Andrew Whittaker's workshop later, make sure you say happy birthday to him. Give yourselves a huge round of applause with the conference team. Have a brilliant day. Keep moving, keep smiling, and have a brilliant, brilliant time. Thank you.